Nina Contento here with what's coming up tonight on South Jersey Speed. We have a family-oriented racing team at Bridgeport Speedway. Atco shows us a more traditional style of bracket racing, and NJMP gets us hooked on driving. That's what's coming up on South Jersey Speed.
What happens when an entire organization builds for the future? Dreams are achieved. TerraSol Energies helps organizations reduce energy costs and increase sustainability with innovative solar power systems. Integrating revolutionary components from SunPower's Helix system, this SunPower commercial dealer provides simply the best. Transform your business with the world's first fully integrated commercial solar solution.
We're here at Bridgeport for the micro sprints, and what I've noticed about these drivers is a lot of them are younger, like 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, and what happens with that is families get more and more involved, which is really cool because it becomes an entire family affair. So tonight we're going to go hang out with a family that is very involved here at Bridgeport and see what goes into a night of racing for them. Mark, Tracy, Tori, and Brandon Pavel have been involved with racing as a family for over 10 years. Brandon is the only one that still races, but it's definitely a family effort. Brandon and his dad share a bond in the garage, working and fixing their micro sprint car, while Tracy orders all the parts and does all the paperwork, and Tori does other behind-the-scenes work like photography and design. Your family works here, races here, you're all very involved. How does that make you feel that you have such a great support system?
It's amazing, honestly. My dad is constantly working on the car, constantly putting in money to the car. He's just like I don't know how to say it. It's like
he's the whole enchilada.
Yeah,
he helps
much,
you.
yeah.
That's awesome. When you got started when you were 5, who got you started?
Him.
Your dad?
Yeah, he was looking for something for himself to do because he was bored, and he found a promo day at a quarter midget track. He used to street race and drag race when he was younger, and then he was looking for himself something to do, and then he saw an ad for a promo day, so you go there, sign a couple papers, sign a waiver, give some money, and you can go and drive a quarter midget.
Okay, cool. And then he said, I want my 5-year-old son to start doing this too.
Well, he took me there, and I did it once, and I liked it so much that we had to do it again.
Oh, wow.
And then we bought a car like the next week.
What? 5 years old, getting into a car that he's got to handle on his own. As a mom, how does that make you feel? Like, how did that make you feel?
As this mom, it was very, very nerve-wracking. I was very, very nervous with him doing that. And then every week, nerves. nerves.
Well, how long did it take you until you weren't so nervous?
Oh, I was always nervous. I'm still nervous to this day. Yes, to this day when he gets in the car. Not that he's going to get hurt. I'm not nervous about that because I feel like he's very safe. I just get nervous with other people on the track and making moves and, you know, maybe wrecking him or him getting in a wreck on his own or something like that. That's what I'm nervous about, not about him getting hurt. So
I was just talking to your son, and he said you're pretty much the mastermind behind Pavel Racing.
Yes.
And he would not be where he is without you. How does that make you feel?
Good, because it's a lot of families don't connect with their children, and I feel that this really makes us like a family. We do a lot of this together. He's learning a lot from me, and I'm learning a lot from him.
What kind of stuff are you learning from him?
How to control my temper, mainly.
It definitely brings us closer. I mean, since we've been racing since he was 5. I mean, that's a really long time. So with us being together, however many weeks we've been together during the race season, and just spending time together definitely brings our family closer as a whole, not just at the race, which is nice.
I know a lot of families come together and kind of develop a brand, and you guys have this really cool Pavel Racing brand. How did you get that started?
It really started with my sister. She was always involved in she liked art. She liked web design, graphic design, and then she started going to college for it. So she made everything for us, really. It was more like a practice thing for her. She was having fun doing what she loves to help us out.
This job has not only turned into an opportunity to support your family, but also a career opportunity. So you have Victoria Pavel Photography, and then you have the brand of Pavel Racing, which you were able to help kind of create and mold. How did that get started?
When I was 12, I knew I wanted to be a graphic designer, so I went to college for graphic design, and my mom found on Facebook a post that they were looking for a marketing assistant, and she was like, that's not really what you are, but maybe you could change the mind. You're a graphic designer, so why don't you apply? So I talked to Colby on the phone. I was like, this is what I do. I know it's not really what you're looking for, but maybe we could work something out. And he actually ended up liking me better than the other candidates that interviewed. And he kind of changed in his head what he was looking for. So he brought me on. I've been here 3 years. It's a long 3 years. But it's definitely nice to be able to be at a racetrack. I mean, do I wish I could go to other racetracks on the weekends? Yes, but I'm here and everybody here is like a family, so you're with your family every weekend. Whether that's the people you work with or your actual family.
And yours is both.
Yes, mine's both.
He and his dad build and fix and do all the car stuff together. What does that mean to you, to see that connection?
Oh, I think it's fabulous. It's a joy to be able to see your husband and son working together. And you know, he's learning from his dad, and that's just a great aspect of it. And we're always all together. We've all been into racing since he was little. It's a really good family sport. Definitely. I really enjoy that part.
Some days he amazes me the way he drives the car. I mean, I watched the GoPro videos and I just shake my head. I'm like, I could never do that.
At 16, I was just getting my permit. Yeah. I could never imagine being able to handle a vehicle the way these kids can handle these cars.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
The reaction time is incredible, how fast he can react to something.
What do you think you guys being so involved in his racing does for his racing?
I think it helps him. I mean, I think to know that you have your family behind you, that your family is there to cheer you on in good times and in bad, whether you do good or you do bad. I think every week that he goes out there is a lesson. You know, in one way or another, whether he does good. This year, I think, and he even said it today when he was talking to my family members, that this is his learning year. He's learning to get used to the new car. He's, you know, learning how to be out on the track, around people, you know, how other people drive, that type of thing. So he definitely said this is his learning year. We support him no matter what. You know, he does great.
You own a small to mid-sized business and want to market your company. But how do you break out of the shadow of the big box stores? That's where ClearBridge Media Consulting comes in. ClearBridge provides the necessary tools and resources to interact and engage your customers and specializes in finding the perfect formula for you to succeed. ClearBridge bridges the gap between your business goals and the resources required to succeed in today's digital world. Call or visit ClearBridge Media Consulting online today for your free brand audit.
Hi, Comfort Bob. You know, whenever we have a system in an attic, we always have a chance of a water leak. Now that could be a heater or an air conditioner. When we have a water leak, it can cause very severe problems. Now this unit has a pan underneath it that was going to capture the water. It didn't. The water got out beyond the pan here, it went onto the deck, it can go down to the carpet, furnishings below, damage the ceiling. There's all sorts of consequences. Besides a pan under a unit, it should have an overflow switch. So if the water gets too deep, it shuts off. That way you avoid having the water overflowing. This is very deteriorated, there's rust in the pan, this unit really has to be replaced. If you have a unit in the attic, make sure you have it checked. Give us a call, we can look for signs of water and keep you out of trouble. Because you deserve comfort now.
Comfort now by Bob McAllister, because you deserve comfort now. 609-400-1005.
Between my husband and my 2 kids, we spend a lot of time at Atlantic Care Urgent Care Centers.
Good morning, Mrs. Johnson. Good evening, Mrs. Johnson.
3, 2, 1, go!
Happy Saturday, Mrs. Johnson.
Let's just say Atlantic Care Urgent Care Centers know us pretty well.
Be right back.
They're the ones I know I can trust.
Board-certified providers, on-site medication dispensing, most insurances accepted, no appointments needed.
Inspira announces our latest medical breakthrough. It's called the phone. Our new app lets you see an urgent care doctor faster. Find the closest center with the shortest wait. You can even check in online. Get text updates and wait from the comfort of home. Inspira Urgent Care. Get the app.
Trust the experts at Dondero Diamonds and Fine Jewelry to help you make a decision that lasts a lifetime.
It works out for us, and just look at Eugene. He has a quality of life. He's a different person. He is.
Yes, that's true.
I would have never thought Margaret would have qualified. And lo and behold, she did, and it's been very, very helpful for her. And made the family much better off, too.
I'm here at Atco Dragway for Footbrake Fever, which is a more traditional style of racing. If you don't know what the difference between foot braking and trans braking is, we have 3 drivers out of the 67 here competing for the $3,500 check to tell us exactly what the differences are.
Trans braking, the Super Pro class, they have what they call electronics. They have a delay box. Now they'll have an RPM limiter in their car that they'll push the gas pedal to the floor and it'll go to a certain RPM where we control what we do with that.
Right.
They'll, when the top bulb comes on the tree, they actually let go of a button. At that time, they have a certain amount of time programmed in their delay box that allows them to react to that top bulb. The car won't move until that time runs out in that delay box, and it'll take off. So they can program pretty much in when the car is gonna leave. Us, on the other hand, we have the 3 ambers that come down.
Yeah.
We gotta wait for that bottom bulb, and we gotta let go of our foot brake and push the gas pedal down.
I think there's more skill in the foot brake.
Basically, when the tree falls, we leave on the bottom bulb, no electronics, no gadgets in the car.
I'm gonna probably hurt some feelings. It's probably easier to delay box race because again, you don't have to wait for separate bulbs coming down and you can dial in a certain amount of time. But honestly, foot brake, I'd like to see a lot more young people in.
Okay, so this is what I learned. A trans brake keeps the car from moving anywhere, no matter how much pressure is put on the throttle. The car is still in gear, but as soon as the driver sees the top of the tree light up, the tree meaning the lights that signal the driver to go, the driver then triggers the delay box to begin counting down. Once it's finished, it then causes the car to launch. The delay box is timed by the driver to match the tree. Trans braking didn't come around until the 1980s, but even then it was frowned upon because it made things easier for the less experienced drivers. It's said that using a trans brake can also make the car more consistent and overall perform better. Now, if you're going the old-fashioned way with foot braking, there are no computers or countdowns to help the vehicle launch at the perfect time, but even with that computer, it's not always perfect. With foot braking, it takes a lot of concentration and practice. Reaction time solely depends on the driver and their ability to pay attention to the bulbs on the tree. They wait for the final amber bulb to light up, and then it's go time. Foot braking and trans braking really both require a ton of practice and are really personal preference. If you had just met somebody that's just starting out racing, would you encourage them to do what you do, or the computer side?
I would encourage them to learn to foot brake first.
Okay.
Because I do think that there's a transition between the two. That if you're good with the foot brake, you can be good with the delay box. I do think there are a fair amount of people that are good with delay box but can't do the foot brake thing.
Okay.
And I think it makes you more versatile.
What made you choose to go the foot brake route?
Since I was young, my dad has always raced in the foot brake races, and that's the way I learned. And I find it more interesting than the box racing.
I'm here with Bob Mulaney, and he has quite a history with racing, 44 years of racing to be exact.
Yes, I do.
So tell me a little bit about how you got started.
Actually, when I was a teenager, I worked at a gas station where a guy actually ran super stock, one of the NHRA categories, and got interested in it. Started bracket racing then. Actually, I started in a very slow car, street car that I drove down. Put a small block Chevy in it, a Camaro, 68 Camaro, and it went in the 13s. And I've driven every type of slow car there is. From Aspen station wagon with a 6-cylinder in it. You can bracket race. It's actually, because we dial in, it kind of makes what we do. He has a real great car. I can have a slower car and be able to compete with him because of the handicap system that we run.
Right.
When I was 16 years old, I built a car I thought was fast, so I went to the racetrack.
What kind of car was it?
It was actually a pro-streeted 76 Chevy pickup. That's where it all began.
So 67 cars entered today for the 2-day Footbrake Fever race, and what you've been watching is just the first round of eliminations for day 2. After 5 rounds, the final race came down to Brock Mosier and David Henry in the second. David actually won yesterday. But Brock Mosier took home the $3,500 today. His strategy? Double entering. He had 2 chances to win. Granted, he had to pay 2 entry fees, but it ended up being worth it in the end.
Seabrook House has been helping families find the courage to recover from alcoholism, drug addiction, and other compulsive mental disorders for over 42 years. Our programs include the Family Matrix program that allows families to heal and begin to strengthen the family bonds strained by addiction, inpatient rehabilitation, extended care, and outpatient treatments. If you or a loved one is suffering from addiction, please call or visit us online today. Seabrook House, helping families find the courage to recover.
Education is the seed to growing. At Bright Beginnings Academy, that seed is provided and sowed with care by professionals. With degree teachers, a secure building and playground, and curriculum-based learning, Bright Beginnings Academy provides an environment designed for excelled learning and activity for every growing child. With locations in Cherry Hill and Sewell, accessibility is close to you. Visit bbanj.net to schedule a tour of our facilities, learn about our classes, and find out about our summer camps. Bright Beginnings Academy is not only the right start, but a bright start.
Are we a community bank? Yes. Do we provide the best in personal and community service? Of course. Do we offer the convenience of online banking, competitive rates, and convenient hours? Absolutely. But Franklin Bank is more than that. Much more. Franklin Bank is also focused on lending, on getting businesses and families going. Come in today and let us show you how we can help. Home, auto, business. Franklin Bank. Build your future with us.
At SNJ Today, we don't just like South Jersey, we love it. We go out every day to find the stories that matter to you and your community and share them on our nightly newscast at 7 and 11 p.m. on Channel 4. Did you know that you can get all the great South Jersey stories in your newsfeed? Like us on Facebook to see all the news, sports, and weather that affects you. You like South Jersey, we love South Jersey. Like us today on Facebook to keep informed with South Jersey's news. SNJ Today, we are for South Jersey.
Avoid the hassles of oil and propane deliveries in large tanks. It's easy to convert to environmentally friendly natural gas. It's efficient, reliable, clean, and convenient. The least expensive of all heating fuels and is produced in North America. A natural gas heating system typically lasts 5 years longer than an oil furnace. For heating, hot water, cooking, clothes drying, even for outdoor grilling, pool heating, and fireplaces, there's no better option than natural gas.
Call 1-800-822-WARM or visit southjerseygas.com.
Marcacci Meats, the area's best butcher shop, has moved to the corner of Oak and Delsey. You'll find the best cuts of the freshest quality meat, all cut to order by our butcher to ensure that you are bringing home the best meat for your table. In the new Marcacci Meats, you will now find produce, subs, sandwiches, and a full deli line. Like us on Facebook to learn about our weekly specials. Experience the difference when shopping at Marcacci Meats on the corner of Oak and Delsey.
East Coast Roofing and Siding, protecting what you love and own. East Coast Roofing and Siding, trust us with your family and home.
Hi, I'm Larry Styler, owner of East Coast Roofing and Siding. For over 35 years, we've strived to bring excellence to your home in the work that we do. Whether it be roofing, siding, windows, or solar, you can trust us with your family and home.
Trust us with your family and home.
So we're here at the New Jersey Motorsports Park, and as you can see, the rain isn't really cooperating with us. But some of these drivers don't care because they are hooked on driving. Corny, I know, but Hooked on Driving is a racing school, driving school, where drivers come out and learn how to handle their vehicles, handle the racetrack, and keep up with safety procedures. All right, so let's check it out.
What we do here is, first thing we want to do is we want to make sure you have a safe day. Safety is paramount over all things. Then we want to make sure you have a good time. If you're having a good time safely, you can't help but learn something. Even through osmosis, you're going to learn something. And that's what we want to teach you. And you're going to bring those skills to your regular street driving. And you're going to see things and things are going to happen. You're going to approach turns in a different manner. And you're going to be able to handle situations as they come to you.
We have an instructor, and we find the instructors here are among the best, we think, of instructors out there because not only are they committed to your safety and learning experience, but also having fun and promoting a safety culture among all the drivers in the group. They do something here which I really like, which is called a download, or sort of like a debrief after each on-track session. And people talk about, their approach to the track and sort of what's going on, different approaches, and sort of how to deal with certain situations, what to do if. And I think that promotes sharing of ideas, and that helps people to get to know each other, and that's what promotes the safety culture in the whole group.
We go in multiple sections, so if you're new to this, you've never done it, you're going to be an A driver, our novice driver, our beginner, and you'll be in that. You'll have classroom sessions, driver will sit with you and teach you how to drive with helmet-to-helmet communicators, and you'll do that a bunch of times. Maybe, some people do it 4 or 5 times, some guys can do it 12 times. Then they'll move on and the coach will say, you're ready to be out there alone. Then you move up to what we have as our B group, our intermediate group. Those are our solo drivers that get out there and they just want to have some fun. We do teach advanced coaching at all levels to people that want to really hone their skills. So after you've done that, a lot of times you get to be your advanced driver, and that's where you see a lot of the race cars come in there. This is where kind of race car drivers, I think, come to relax.
So when it comes to A, B, C, and D, what is one thing you will always promote throughout all of the...
Safety.
Okay.
Safety is paramount. That is it. We want to make sure you can't have a good time and you can't come back if something unsafe happens. And that's why we promote safety. Safety is paramount. There's nothing that trumps safety here. Not money, not fun, not anything. If you can't be safe, you don't belong here. And we're going to teach you to be safe. And that's what our classroom instructor strives. That's what our group leaders make sure. That's what our coaches do out there and sneak around in all the run groups to see who's misbehaving.
So I'm here with Ben Liao, and he is the owner of Rogue Engineering, and he pretty much knows all the odds and ends about safety in these vehicles. So he's going to show us what and how these cars are made to keep all of their drivers and passengers safe. So what do you want to start out with?
Probably the first thing we should start out is the inside, protecting the driver.
Okay.
So our car has what's considered a full roll cage. So it totally encompasses the driver, protecting it from anything coming in or if the car turns over. So in case of that traumatic incident, you'll be still safe.
This roll cage goes all the way down and around the car. So you can flip and it's protecting you from top to bottom, which is pretty awesome. How are these roll cages made for the car?
They're actually made by hand. Usually there are companies that basically will get the car, strip the car, and then wind up fitting each bar individually for each car.
Wow.
There are companies that make kits, but they don't quite fit as well, and some racing sanctions don't approve of certain kinds of bars and certain kinds of roll cages. So it's important that if you're going to get it done, you go to somebody that's knowledgeable about what you're going to be doing with the car.
Now, when is a roll cage required? I know at certain horsepower, speeds, and whatnot.
Well, actually, for events like Hooked on Driving, you could take a street car, which of course doesn't have a roll cage in it. But usually for those that have roll cages, these are for people that are going to try to get to the next level and are going to potentially go start racing.
Okay.
So it's important to get used to it, because if they get into a car and like, well, I'm not used to all this stuff in the way. So it's important to be comfortable with your surrounding.
Now, with that all being in the way, how much does it get into their vision, like with the differences between a regular street car and then a race car?
Oh, it's actually, it's interesting you say that, because with the helmet on, with a Hans device on, which of course limits your head rotation, and the seatbelts on, you can only look at a very, very narrow field of view. Fortunately, it's all in front of you. And so you're going to use your mirrors as a peripheral kind of thing. You're not going to stare into them, just going to look to see if anybody's there. But you really can't see quite a bit. You can't look out the window sideways.
Oh, wow.
You can't even reach for the door. If someone opens your door, you're belted in so tight and so close, you have to get somebody else to shut the door for you. We have a fixed back seat with a 6-point harness. This particular harness is produced by a European company called Seabelt out of Italy. Actually, 100% of all Formula One drivers are required to use Seabelt seat belts, because they're the only ones that have passed all the testing for this year. So, for example, our driver's seat has what's called head protection, so that anything that comes in, or if the driver gets pushed around, the head protection can protect them from other incidents. Then you have a fire system in here, which is activated. This particular one is electronic, so you can see the suppression bottle. This one is electronic, so it's activated by a push button near the dash. And then it has nozzles that spray in the cabin and also into the engine compartment to try to preserve as much as the car in case of a fire. You have to make sure you have certain things like your tires are in good condition, your brakes are in good condition. Obviously, you don't want to take a car onto the track at speed that might endanger the passenger or yourself.
As you can see, these cars literally are built not for your everyday grocery trip. They're made to handle and withstand pretty crazy elements.
Hooked on Driving will be back at the New Jersey Motorsports Park this September. So if you want to learn how to drive your daily driver, sports car, muscle car, or even a rental, head on out.